Okay, so the next step in configuring WordPress is actually to go to the settings in your WordPress dashboard. And there are 7 general categories of settings in that dashboard. So let's go take a look. So go down here, you're in your dashboard, go to settings, and you see general, writing, reading, discussion, media, privacy, permalinks. And as you add plugins, you may or may not get new setting links underneath your settings. So just FYI on that. But these are the default 7. So let's start on general. So you see your site title. That is the most important thing you can set on your website is your title. The second thing you can set here is your tagline. Okay, basically a little bit better description of what your website is about. Think in terms of keywords. In some themes, your tagline is appended to your title, such that when you look at your website way up here, the title you give your website as well as the tagline you give your website will all be up here in this upper bar. Some themes work like that, some themes don't. It's always a good idea to put something descriptive in here. If you want to save yourself a lot of grief, don't ever change these 2 entries right here. Put in an email address that you use and visit frequently. As a general rule of thumb, under membership, always check the box anyone can register, and then make the new user default role subscriber. You could make them an administrator, but that's dicey because now they have control of your website. And they can add plugins, they can delete plugins and content and all sorts of stuff. But if you make them a subscriber, you're okay. Change your time zone so that it's appropriate to where you live. Date format is fine. This is how the date's going to appear on your blog posts. Time format, different countries have different customs. Here in America, this is the way we do it typically. But sometimes we do it with an uppercase, sometimes with a lowercase. This is your standard military time, and you can also customize it. You can also say your week starts on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, all the way through Saturday. Typically, we start our business week on Monday, so that's what we call the start of our week. When you've got everything set there, click Save Changes, and you're done. We'll move on to the next thing. So the next step in configuring WordPress in your settings is under the writing category. Let's go take a look at that. We're going to fiddle with the settings, press this, post via email, remote publishing, and update services. So let's go take a look. So here we're in writing, and here are a few tweaks that I make. In the size of the post box, I always change it to about 27 because that fits my screen best. And that's the size that your post will appear in as you're writing it. I always leave these as default. All this stuff is default. Press this link you can drag up into your bookmarks, and it's pretty neat when you're surfing the web and you see some content that you want to blog about. You can just go to that website, copy some stuff, click the press this button, and you've got a blog post. I never post via email. I just don't do it. It's too much of a hassle. However, I do a lot of remote publishing through a Firefox add-on called ScribeFire, and you can just look it up. So I click both of these. That enables remote publishing. And then the most important part here is in update services, I delete that, and I go over here to my ping list, which I'm going to give to you as part of the package. Copy that, paste that in there, and save changes. And that's it for the writing settings. Okay, the next step that you want to take in configuring your WordPress settings is privacy, and this is a really brief one as well. And by default, it's usually turned on the right way, but you always want to make sure that this is turned on the right way. So let's go to our dashboard, and settings and privacy. And you want to make sure that the radio button that says I would like my site to be visible to everyone, including search engines like Google, Bing, Technorati, and archivers. You want to make sure that that is enabled, just like it is by default. There was a time when this was not the default. This was the default. But now the WordPress folks have probably got enough complaints that, hey, you know what, my site is never getting indexed and I'm never finding it in the search engines. It's because you had it made private, because this was checked by default. So if you know that's checked, I would like my site to be visible to everyone. Go ahead and click Save Changes and you're done. Next up in configuring WordPress under the settings option is the discussion topic. So let's go there and take a look. So go to settings, discussion, and again, a lot of these defaults are perfect. I don't change much, but I just want to go through each one of these kind of briefly and talk about it a little bit. So under default article settings, attempt to notify any blogs linked to from the article. That's cool. That's like a ping back. Allow link notifications from other blogs. Oh, ping back. Okay, that's cool. Allow people to post comments on new articles. That's perfectly fine. Other comment settings. This is where we might change a thing or two. Comment author must fill out name and email. I always make sure that's checked. Users must be registered and logged in to comment. If you check this box, you're going to get less comments and less interactions. So I would choose to keep that unchecked. Automatically close comments on articles older than 14 days. I would say that if you have a very busy, high traffic blog or website, you could check this, but otherwise you're going to find people, want to comment on a blog post or on a page, from a year ago. Enable threaded comments, that's fine. I never break comments into pages because I never get that many comments. If you have that many comments, awesome for you. I do like to have emails whenever somebody posts a comment and whenever a comment is held for moderation. And that kind of impacts or follows from this next setting, which is before a comment appears, I always check an administrator must always approve the comment, and comment author must have a previously approved comment. Otherwise, that comment goes into moderation, and then I get an email that says, hey, there's a comment here, you need to moderate it, you need to approve it or decline it or call it spam or trash it. So that's that. Comment moderation. Hold a comment in the queue if it contains, I always say, one or more links. This is usually a telltale sign that if somebody puts within their comment a URL, they're spamming you. Okay. When a comment contains any of these words in its content, name, URL, email, or IP, it will be held in the moderation queue. One word or IP per line. So you could put, curse words in here, typical bad language. You could put that and put one word per line. I don't usually use this comment blacklist. However, there have been occasions where I've needed to block somebody from making comments, and I don't even want them to go to moderation, or I don't even really want to look at them. So if I know their email address or their URL or their IP address or even their name, I can put that in here. Again, one word or IP per line. As far as avatars go, I don't really care. I don't change any of this stuff, and then I click Save Changes. That's all there is to that. Okay, the next step in configuring WordPress under settings is media. Let's go there. So we go to settings and then media, and there's really not a lot to change here, but the one thing you do change, you're going to want to change it. So I keep everything at default. If you're a professional photographer or something like that, you're probably going to use a gallery plugin like NextGen or something like that. So you really never have to worry about any of this kind of stuff. But what you do want to change is, see this checkbox right here, how it's enabled and it says organize my uploads into month and year-based folders. Don't do that. Uncheck that. It's going to give you better search engine optimization results. It's going to get you better rankings in the search engines for your images. And you know what? When people search for stuff online, they don't really care when you uploaded it. They just care what it is and how they can get it. So then click Save Changes, and that's it.